Hi, I'm Melissa Jeanette Shea, President and CEO of the Long Island Real Estate Investors Association. Almost 2 decades ago, on a dare, I purchased my first home with no money down. I received $7,000 at the closing and earned $200 a month in passive income, all while my tenant was paying the mortgage.
Since then, we've purchased over $30 million in real estate and have taught people just like you how to do the same. Visit us at themeetingofthemindspodcast.com. Register and receive our free ebook that explains how to get the money to begin investing in real estate.
So if you've always wanted to own real estate and don't know how, you need to contact us. We're local, accessible, and we work with you personally to ensure that you become the most successful real estate investor that you can be.
Whether your goals are to fix and flip or income generation through portfolio building, visit us at themeetingofthemindspodcast.com. Join our monthly workshops and learn the secrets to real estate investing success.
Don't forget to register at the Meeting of the Minds podcast to receive our free ebook where you can learn how to get the money to begin real estate investing.
And for even more amazing educational content, join us here every week on the Meeting of the Minds podcast. Get out of the rat race and learn how to invest in real estate today. Hey guys, you're listening to the Meeting of the Minds podcast. If you've always wanted to learn how to become more financially independent through real estate investing, then you're listening to the right show, because that's what we teach. Go to our website, themeetingofthemindspodcast.com. Register and you'll receive our free ebook that will explain to you how you can get all the money you need to begin investing in real estate. You'll also receive email notifications on upcoming events. Also make sure to follow us and turn on your notifications so that you'll get notified when we upload, which is once, sometimes twice a week. That being said, let's get into today's episode. If this is your first time listening in, I'm John Shea, and sitting with me today is a gentleman who has proved time and time again that he is unstoppable, and that man is Mr. Sean Toomey. Sean, how you doing today?
Excellent. How about yourself, John?
I can't complain. Nobody really listens anyway, right? So if you don't mind, you know, me and you have known each other for about how long now?
I think a good 4 years now.
A good 4 years? So do you mind giving me a little bit backstory on you? Like, where'd you grow up? What school did you go to? What was your major?
Sure, no problem. So I'm from Long Island. I grew up in Lake Ronkonkoma, which is very close to where the office is right now. I went to high school at Sachem High School. Normal growing up. My mom and dad both were state workers, so they had pretty good pensions, and they were pretty set on, getting a job, getting a W-2 job, and doing that forever.
Right.
But that was never what I wanted to do with my life. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Like when I was younger, I had a lemonade stand. When all the kids were playing outside, during the summer, riding bikes, I was selling lemonade, and then my lemonade stand extended to candy and drinks, and I had this whole racket going on. I put the ice cream man out of business.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did.
Did they hit you on permits?
They did not. No, that I think I skirted by pretty easily without the permits.
I actually read something pretty funny the other day about a lemonade stand, and you might have seen it too. I saw it on a certain social media
did see that.
site.
Yeah.
It said that some lady set up a lemonade stand for her daughter, and the daughter ended up making $110 in like a 3-hour span. And it turned out that the little girl was getting 5s, 10s, and 20s from people purchasing lemonade and didn't offer him change, would just say, thanks for the tip. And at saying that, people were very reluctant to say, no, give me my change. So she ended up making $110. Maybe a little bit of a scam, but, anyway.
Could be. I mean, a lot of kids now will donate to charity or something like that, but
not that one.
For me back in the day, mine was all for profit, baby.
Okay, so I stopped you at lemonade stand, so continue, please.
Sure, yeah. So, I took normal business classes in high school. I ended up going to college at Hofstra University to become an accountant. And while I was there, I did my classes. I did really good in my classes, but I always wanted to open my own business. That was my dream. That was my goal. And I actually was on the cheerleading team there, so that's kind of another funny story. I was a pretty decent cheerleader at the time, and I saw a need for this kind of business on Long Island because I had been to other states and seen these cheerleading specific gyms. So my thought was to open one on Long Island, and I actually did that my senior year of college. So I opened a facility in Oceanside, and I opened a facility in Riverhead at the same time. So I was commuting back and forth to these two places while going to school full time.
Wow. But you did more than just cheerleading, didn't?
Yeah, it was cheerleading, gymnastics. It was I was teaching, routines. I did pretty much anything they asked me to do, I would do.
Okay, so you didn't use the college degree for accounting?
Not at all. I mean, you use it a little bit. During the course of business, but no, I was full. I was ready to drop out my final year. My mom's like, "You have to finish." So of course you listen to mom and you finish.
Right.
So I finished out and I did that, and I did that for a pretty long time.
There's decent money in that too.
There's really good money, and it was I was probably one of the first, or I was one of the first 3 on Long Island to do it.
Really?
So I was at the beginning of the wave, and then the wave hit of cheerleading, and it just took over my life.
And there's a big cash business in that, and also they get you like private lessons and stuff.
Private
right?
lessons, yeah. I mean, big training. I mean,
were you being hired by high schools and stuff?
Yeah,
like
we were
that?
being hired by high schools, by colleges, by youth leagues. I was working 7 days a week at one point, maybe 10 hours a day, just doing this.
And you're married?
I am. Correct.
And you have how many children?
I have 2 children.
And
one on the way, yes.
Congratulations.
One on the way sometime this month, August.
Okay. And where did you meet your wife?
I met my wife through cheerleading.
You stole... Wait. You stole one of your students, or was it while you were
No, while I was working, she was actually going to school at Stony Brook.
Okay.
So, and I was young then. I was like in my early 20s, like 21. And we just met through cheerleading, and we got along, and the rest was just history,
Every man's dream, marry the cheerleader. I mean, come on, how could that? What's better than that?
Nothing.
Okay, so you got me a little confused here because you're making good money.
I was making great money. I was doing really well, but I was making good money, but it was a lot of my time I was using. So I didn't have a lot of, like, I would wake up in the morning, go to work, and I'd work at this job until 10 o'clock at night and come home and spend whatever hours I could with my wife then. And it was okay. We saw each other here or there. She'd actually come and work for me at the gym. But outside of the gym, there was no life.
So there's a difference between working to live and living to work. And it kind of felt like you were living to work at that point, I guess?
Yeah, so I had created a business, but the business I created was a job. Because if I wasn't there, things didn't get done. And if I didn't show up and someone else took my spot, it wasn't as good. We'd get complaints. So at that point, I was like, I'll just go to work. And that wears on you after a while.
Yeah, they only wanted to see you.
They only wanted to see me, and it was just a lot of commitments. And I was always over promising. And I said, I guess one of my biggest downfalls was saying yes to everything. So it was just hard for me to say no because I didn't want to lose the business. And I was just running myself into the ground by doing it.
Right. All right, so that leads me into the next question, which is when did you first realize that real estate investing was something that you wanted to pursue?
So I always had an interest in real estate. Everybody loves the HGTV shows, those flipping shows, and
right.
There's always some kind of interest in real estate. And I always had dabbled in it and wanted to do it. And then I started getting into like personal development about how I can make my life better because I was making good money, but I was working a lot. So there's got to be ways to generate some sort of passive income. So everything I looked for, I stumbled upon real estate, and I really started researching that. So after my first child was born, Brendan, I wanted to spend more time at home. So I had to find a way to passively make money, and real estate was my gateway to it.
Okay, and how did you discover, like, you were listening to, like, podcasts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did podcasts, I did books. I read anything I can get my hands on, I was reading. And all of it pointed towards real estate, and a lot of it pointed towards, find your local RIA.
Okay, so again, right into the next question. How did you hear about us?
Good segue, right?
How'd you hear about us?
Yeah, so I just basic Google search RIA Long Island, and this lady popped up, Melissa, and
I think I know her.
Yeah, I think you know her really well, right?
Yep.
So these videos popped up, and they were like, it looked like they were shot in the early 80s or something like that. They were just very, very old looking, but the material was new, and the material was amazing. The stuff she was speaking, she was like preaching to me.
Right. Yeah, we didn't really focus on good quality like video back then. But
Yep.
we're getting better.
Oh, you guys are 100% better from then. But the information was like, she's like talking my language. I need to meet this lady.
Right. And then you came to one of the events?
I came to one of the events. Yeah, it was actually a mentoring class.
Okay.
And
you test drove the mentoring program.
I test drove the mentoring program for a day. And that was one of those moments in your life when you just know that this is the right decision you're going to make. You just know this is where you belong.
Right.
So after that day, I was hooked. The people were great. She was phenomenal. I got to meet you that day too, I think.
Right.
So it was just like the stars aligned perfectly, and I knew this was the right place for me to be.
Awesome. So you joined the mentoring program, and that changed your life. So can you walk me through what you did from day one until now?
That's a lot of stuff, John. I know I can hit everything there.
I got you in the room now.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me hit the.
You don't have to go through every day, but like
I know what you mean.
know.
So I joined the mentoring program in June, and by August I had purchased 8 single-family houses in Memphis, Tennessee. Sight unseen, never even been to Memphis.
Right.
But I was basing my investment on numbers and on, leaning heavily on the advice of people that were investing here, and also of my mentor who said, listen, this is a good market to be in. The cash flow's there. The cash flow's good. You should do it.
Right.
And the way the numbers lined up was, if I did this investment in Memphis, the cash flow would then supplement my wife's income, so she didn't have to do her job at the time.
Right.
So she could quit. Maybe do 2 days a week part time, and be home with the kids. Because at the time we had Brendan, he was, I want to say 2 years old, and she was working all the time, and she never got to see this poor kid get.
So what did she do?
She was an occupational therapist in the city.
For children?
For children,
So she got to be with other people's children, but not her own.
Exactly, same thing as me. I was raising other people's kids. Sometimes 5-6 hours a day, and I saw my kids maybe an hour or two.
Yeah, you don't want your kids to resent you later on in life that you
absolutely, and this investment kind of propelled us on the path. We learned a lot. We had a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. I learned a lot about landlording. But, it taught me a lot about investing and a lot about, how you can grow a portfolio.
Sight unseen, purchasing Memphis properties.
Sight unseen.
But you did come down. You, Megan, the kids, and your mother-in-law.
Yeah,
and
correct.
me and Melissa. And
Correct,
we had
yeah.
some good barbecue food. We showed you around. I think you guys were pleasantly surprised.
I was surprised with the area because it wasn't something that, you're used to. I see houses here, and I had never really delved into out-of-state investing. I just thought, what I was getting here was what I was getting there, but it's a little different. It was a little bit of culture shock,
right?
But it turned out to be an incredible investment for us and for our family.
Okay, and then after that, we ended up doing some Connecticut houses.
Yeah,
together.
well, after that, I did a flip with you. You actually did the flip in
that was in
Brentwood. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That was a good flip.
And
too.
that was awesome because in the program, I got to invest my money into a flip to make a profit off that flip. And also learn, what I would go to the job site, once a week, and I would pick John's brain. I was probably annoying him at the time.
Not at all.
But I was like, "Oh, what are you doing this? Why are you fixing this? How do you do that?" And I was just asking a million questions.
How many offers did we get on that opening weekend?
I think we got 6 offers, and that was at the peak of the market too.
Right, and that is why doing a good rehab is important. Little side note.
Of course, yeah, of course. It's all about. It had great curb appeal. Everything. The kitchens were new. The bathrooms were all new. The basement was refinished. It was very eye catching, and we had a lot of action that open house. That was a good one.
We went into contract soon after that, I believe, too.
I think we went into contract that weekend.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a really good first project to be in, and I got to see it all firsthand. And it wasn't just me with my money into it. It was me and 2 other students into the deal. So we all got to experience this.
Right. Yeah, excellent. And then we went to Connecticut.
And then we started going heavy into Connecticut. Yeah, so we wanted to get into that market for a while, and we saw the opportunity. We saw these beautiful multifamily houses throughout Connecticut, and we're like, let's focus on a few areas and start investing there.
Right. So, having that education and doing what you did, COVID happened. Obviously, everybody should know that. It shouldn't. It should not be a surprise to all of you. But how did that affect your business? Because you owned your own gym.
I own So let's back up a little bit before COVID. I'm still while I'm learning how to do this investing. I'm doing fixes and flips. I'm purchasing investment properties. I'm managing my portfolio. I'm still working that cheerleading business all the time, every day. So I would and people say that they don't have any time to do this business. You have time. You have to make time. Mm-hmm. So I was making time. I was balancing them both, but it was wearing on me because I started to spend more time on real estate and less time at my business. So fast forward to COVID.
Oh, wait. Rewind a little bit more. Megan had left was able to leave her job, right?
Correct. Yeah, she was a full stay-at-home mom now.
While you were still doing this.
Yep, she was a stay-at-home mom.
Somewhere around the flip time or the Connecticut time is when.
Yeah. So when our second baby was born, Cameron, she didn't go back to work because we were just doing so well in real estate. We didn't really. It wasn't a benefit to put a kid in. Daycare. We weren't going to get anything out of it.
Excellent. Now let's hit that fast forward button and come up to COVID.
So right fast forward to COVID. So COVID hurt a lot of businesses, and I think mine was probably the first to be shut down, and it was the last to be, allowed to resume.
Yeah.
Dealing with kids and dealing with what we were dealing with. We were that first day that we were shut down. They told us you cannot operate anymore. You're done.
Right.
You're closed. Close your doors. Don't let anybody in. Don't let us catch you letting anybody in. And we'll let you know when you can open again.
And they said even when you would be able to open, the kids would have to wear masks.
Kids would have to wear masks.
Somersaults and rolls and everything like that.
Exactly. You'd have to open at limited capacity. You'd have to change the air conditioning in your facility just because I had to have certain vents there. So they were laying it all on me that this is not a good idea to stick with what you're doing, kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm a big proponent on when the universe tells you to go some way, you can't always fight it because it's never going to work.
Right. So you had to shut down.
I had to shut down, and so I had a reprieve. I could have done the SBA loans. I could have put more money into this business, but in my opinion, I was putting money into a business that I didn't know if it was going to be successful again because I didn't know where the world was taking us.
Right.
So, and I did have this real estate to fall back on. So I was like, you know what? If now's the time to do this, now's the time. So I ended up, selling that business. I ended up selling my equipment for pennies on the dollars, and I moved into investing in real estate full time.
Okay, and then you began working with us full time.
I did, yeah. So
right?
So I did that, yeah. So I became a full time investor, and I started working here full time.
So being a full time real estate investor, what has that done for you? How has that changed your life?
It's changed my life incredibly. So back when I owned a business, I would get home at 10:30 at night, so my kids would be asleep. So I missed out on like the bedtime rituals. I didn't give my kids a bath for I can't tell you how many years. Mm-hmm. It was my wife doing it. So and it gave me more time. It gave me more time with my family, with my wife. It gave me more time to do stuff I always wanted to do that I always said, I'll get to someday.
Yeah, you guys could travel all the time.
We could travel now. Now I could do my job now from anywhere. Like I went away for a week to Hilton Head recently, and I would log on in the morning, do what I had to do, and boom, out with the family.
Especially with Zoom. I mean, we're able to conduct meetings, real estate meetings and stuff like that all through Zoom now. So that's excellent. Mm-hmm. So joining us full time, now you're a coach for the mentoring program.
I am, yes. I get to help other people realize their real estate dreams.
You're the go-to person for questions and about memberships, right?
I am the go-to.
You're the go-to. And also for the Long Island Real Estate Investors Association, I believe, too, right?
Yeah, I handle all the calls from members, people wanting to become members, people just wanting more information about the organization. I don't mind giving out talking to people, just conversing with them, telling the benefits of the organization and how it helped me and how it's helped many other people grow.
And it continues to grow. This whole
it does,
organization.
yeah.
We do some great trips now. Speaking about sight unseen, I mean, we have some more houses for sale in Memphis. I think we're doing a Memphis trip soon with a bunch of students. Like we do the Connecticut trips,
yes,
which are awesome. Me and Melissa have talked about it before. We all hop on the ferry from Port Jeff, Long Island.
Correct.
We head up to Connecticut for the day. We end up seeing 8 houses. We leave at 9 in the morning we left this time, right?
We left at 9 in the morning, yeah.
9 in the morning. We had bagels and everything on the boat for everybody. They get 2 free drinks on the way back. That's a little secret.
Sometimes two.
Sometimes two. Sometimes
depends
3.
on who you're sitting with,
Right. But yeah, so we get out on the boat, we carpool together, and then we saw 8 properties that day. Still had time to stop, and we all ate lunch because we provide pizza for everybody like that. We're all back at the ferry by 4:45.
Yeah, and we're back home by 6 o'clock. But the energy that day is incredible. Like that's a full day of looking at houses, going through dirty apartments, and it can make anybody get really tired. But this time, especially, John, when we were riding back on the ferry, the energy, the people conversing, people talking, having a great time, it was incredible. It just inspired me. Like, man, we got to do more of these trips because this is important for people to learn and to get into these houses and see like what investors are looking at and why this is a good investment.
Right. And we have another one coming up soon too, I think, right?
We do. We have one coming up in September. I believe it's September 18th.
Okay. And I'm not sure really when the Memphis trip is going to be. or how many spots we have available.
Yeah, that's going to probably come a little bit later because
that's not going to be a day trip.
That will not be a day trip. No, we just had this discussion. That's going to be an overnighter.
Right, and then we're going to do Rhode Island in the near future, too.
We are going to Rhode Island.
So we're going to be doing a lot of hands-on road trips for you guys, and hopefully you guys want to join us for a couple. But you got to be in it to win it. You have to. Do you have to be a member of the Long Island Real Estate Investors Association in order to attend one of these trips?
To do the trips, you don't have to be a member, but there is a perk to being a member. You do save money on the trip. So, for example, if you're a member of the for the Connecticut trip, you save the $100 to go on the trip.
Okay.
So, but I mean, being a member, you get a lot of different perks. You get to come to our live meetings. You get to, pick our brains when you have any questions.
You get Home Depot discounts.
You do get a Home Depot discount. Yeah, I believe it's a 2% rebate.
Right, and it's only $225 for the entire year. Like Melissa says, it's less than $1 a day, which is true. But $225,
and that membership hasn't gone up in how many years?
Oh, at least 11.
11 years at that price, guys.
11 years. So we have another large event coming up. It's going to be our first fully live event at the Huntington Hilton. I can't even speak. The Huntington Hilton in Melville on September 8th, 2021. Starts at 6:30 and it ends sometime around 9 o'clock. Depends on how
9:30. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? There's going to be vendors there. There's going to be attorneys. There's going to be real estate professionals all over the place, and you'll get to see our pretty faces at the same time. Yep. That is $50 if you just show up and pay at the door. It's free if you're a member. Again, membership is $225 for the year, but because we're doing this podcast, the meetingofthemindspodcast.com, you can go there, register, receive the free ebook on how you can get all the money to invest in real estate, as well as email us, and we'll give you a free guest pass for that event.
Can't beat that, John.
You can't beat it. But if you forget to do that, you can pre-register on our website, lireia.com, and I believe it's $25.
For what, the website?
If you pre-register on the website, it's $25.
I think it's $29.
It's $29. Melissa keeps telling me $25, so apparently that's gone up. But don't hold us to it. Go on the website. You got to check it out for yourselves. How can somebody reach you?
Well,
since you're the go-to guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really responsive to email. So if you want to email, you can email me. My name is Sean, SEAN, @lireia.com. Or if you're a phone person, feel free to call me at the office. The number here is 631-343-8700.
All right. Well, that's going to conclude today's show, guys. Don't forget to follow and turn on notifications so that you're up to date on all future content. Guys, real estate investing is something that anyone could do. All you need is the proper education. Go to the meetingofthemindspodcast.com. Make sure you write the meetingofthemindspodcast.com for the free ebook that shows you how you can get the money to begin investing in real estate. Stop chasing the cheese and learn how to make it yourself, because that's the only way you can truly get out of the rat race. Guys, from Melissa, me, and everyone on our staff, happy investing.